guys, welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me. And today we're going to be talking about accidents. You're most likely going to have one, and here is my story that was really serious when it happened, but now I look back and it's kind of funny. So I hope to entertain you today, and I hope you to put your mind at ease that just because you have some kind of minor accident, it doesn't mean your trucking career is ended. I now have almost 4 years of safe driving and 4 years on-time delivery, and things are wonderful. So stick around and we'll get to that. I'll get you laughing in a second. Welcome back. Again, I'm Kiersey. And my first 30 days out, I got into an accident that really upset me. I went to a Sap Brothers in Council Bluff, Iowa. It was my fuel stop. And I stupidly followed a truck into the parking lot, and we went in the wrong way. So we went into the driveway that was facing the fuel island. So I had to basically do a U-turn around the fuel island, but I was still new and learning how to swing properly, and I thought I had it and I didn't. And then I got distracted because some of the pumps said diesel 1 and some said diesel 2, and I never really paid attention to that before, and I was like, what the heck is diesel 1? Before I knew it, but boom, my trailer hit this big yellow round barrier in front of the fuel island. Didn't hit the pump, woohoo! But I did wind up knocking an axle off the trailer. Yes, the axle came off. So the manager comes out and he's yelling at me and like, did you see what you did? Well, hello, of course I saw what I did. There's an axle on the floor, on the ground. Yes. So I'm trying to back up. He's yelling at me, telling me, you got to get out of my fuel island. Oh, of course I do. But now I'm backing up, and all these truckers are getting out, and they're walking around my truck, and they're pointing, and they're laughing. And I'm trying to back up, and they're behind me where I can't see. So I had to get out of the truck, and I had to walk to the back, and I was like, obviously you can see that I'm not very good going forward. So what makes you think I'm not going to run you over and kill you trying to go backwards? Like, get out of my way. So I finally get out of the way of everybody, and as I'm backing up, the tire rolls, the tire literally just popped off the rim and went rolling into the traffic. So the manager had a forklift driver chase my tire down the street and then bring it back. No lie, seriously happened. And then I had to talk to safety, and I had to talk to the road assist people, and I was fully loaded, so they had to transfer the entire load, and a towing company had to come and chain up the axle that was off, and they had to swap out the product onto a new trailer. The other driver brought the trailer. It was not a good day, and that whole scene took like 9 or 10 hours, just talking to everybody and getting everything arranged and waiting for them. And my fleet manager called after I talked to claims and safety and road assist and the tow people, and my fleet manager called and he's like, what happened? And I just felt like one of those kids that took the car out without permission, talking to my dad. I'm like, I didn't swing wide enough, and I hit the big concrete barrier. And I was upset, and he didn't even say don't do it again. He just basically said, well, did you learn what you need to do next? I could tell by his tone he wasn't happy, but it wasn't any kind of chastising thing where he acted like it was the end of the world. I was crying hysterically. I thought I was getting fired. And when I was talking to the road assist guy, he's like, look, this is why I have a job. And he said to me, did you run anybody over? No. Did you hit the fuel pump? Is there thousands of tens of thousands of gallons of fuel pumping all over where we're going to wind up paying, millions of dollars for fuel. Oh, no, that didn't happen. He's like, you didn't roll the trailer. No. Well, then it's not so bad. He's like, we have a trailer rebuild department for a reason. Things happen. It's not that we want them to happen, but we're prepared for when they do, and you learn from it and you'll be okay. So I'm like, okay, but this guy doesn't have any power over whether I get to keep my job. So then I'm talking to the safety department, and I was like really upset with her, and I was like, oh, they're sending another truck to come SWAT with me. And she's like, yeah, they're gonna have to move your product onto the new trailer. And they finally wound up telling me that I was going to be the one to take the loaded trailer and go deliver it. So that made me feel better, because the broken trailer was going back into the terminal. So if I went back into the terminal, then I'd probably be fired. So as long as I was not going to a terminal, I was okay. Well, the other guy was as new as I was, and when he pulled away with the new trailer, he went to turn through the same fuel island, and he was about to hit the fuel island. So I was blowing my horn, and he start backing up, and when he start backing up, he couldn't see me, so I'm blowing my horn again, and I'm trying to get the truck started, but you have to hit these keypad for the burglar alarm, and I couldn't get started fast enough, and I was really upset. And then I had to go find a parking space at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, which of course there are none, and obviously I didn't sleep all day. I'm not good at this yet. And another prime driver came over, and he said, look, I saw you were upset, and I saw you were upset, and I want to take you to dinner. And he's like, I'm going to help you, I'm going to guide you into a parking space, and then I'm going to take you to dinner, and I'm going to tell you my story. And he went on and started telling me about when he had an accident where he was backing into a dock, and it was a slanted thing, so when you're going down, if you don't slide your tandems one way or the other, depending on how steep the hill is, then guess what? You could rip the whole diesel tank off the bottom of the reefer, which is what he did. And they had to call hazmat, and they had a big cleanup crew and everything, because we had the old tanks that were 50 gallons, so there was 50 gallons of diesel shooting all over the ground. So that made me feel better. And he told me, well, as long as you're not going into a terminal, you still got a job. And I was like, yeah. Well, guess what happened? I had to take that load into Salt Lake City, and when I got to that customer, they didn't have any empty trailers, so guess where I had to go for an empty? The Salt Lake City terminal. And I was so afraid. I was like, I don't want to go. So I waited until after my fleet manager left for the day, and then I went into the terminal and got an empty trailer to go back out with a load. But I avoided terminals for like 3 months after that, because I was afraid that I was going to get fired. And now, and it was funny because about a year later, my fleet manager was telling me about an accident another one of his drivers had. He didn't tell me the person's name. He doesn't do that. That's, but it's more like a learning experience. Like, this is what just happened. I want all my drivers to know about it so that it doesn't happen to them, which I think is a great teaching technique. But, he was just like, I can't believe this guy did this. And I said to him, well, do you remember my accident? And he said, no. Tell me about it. I'm like, no, forget it. I don't want you to remember. No, I don't want you to remember. You don't remember that, you forgot. That's good. You don't need to know. So I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. There are accidents that are going to happen out here that are just rookie common mistakes. But most of the time it can be prevented if you're paying attention. And I've told that story a few times, and I know that there are people out there that have said to me that they've learned from me. They stop at a fuel island before they pull in, and they make sure they're completely straight, and they made sure that they knew what diesel 1 was so that they didn't get distracted. So thank you for watching me today, and I hope you get a kick out of my little story. And I want to hear all your comments below, whether you had an accident or you heard of an accident that somebody had, and you can say that it was, I don't want serious accidents where somebody had to roll over, because the honest to God truth, something like that, that's caused by negligence. You roll over because you're taking a curve too fast. There's a difference between a little fender bender from, just rookie mistakes and being just reckless. That's reckless. You can't take a 25 mile per hour curve at 45 miles per hour. There was a comment on a forum recently where a driver came on the forum and he was talking about how he went through training at rail and then he flipped the trailer and it was all rail's fault because they sent him down this road that had such a tight curve, and he didn't realize that there was a ditch on the side of the road, so he rolled into the grass to try to avoid hitting a car. And I'm like, when I got on Google Maps, and it's funny because I had just driven that same road the week before, so I knew where he was talking about, and I knew it was a 15 mile per hour curve, and I took that at like 8 or 9 miles per hour with my hazards on, going slow around the corner, because you don't know, it's a tight curve, you can't see, you have to make sure somebody's not flying around, and the people behind me, they're just gonna have to wait because they can't get around me. If they try, they're gonna kill themselves, and it's not exactly my fault, but it would be my fault if I let that trailer roll into the ditch and rolled the truck for $350,000 in damage, or if I had a front end collision with the car that was flying around the corner too fast. That's my fault. So be safe out there. Watch that trailer, watch your mirrors, take it slow, don't be in a rush, detach your emotions, and take a few deep breaths. And now you can go like and comment and share. Thanks for watching. This is Trucking Along with Kiersey. Have a great day and be safe out there. Bye.